a podcast by Shy Soul. She's bringing you author interviews, book discussions, and more. Stay tuned. Authors Tell All, a podcast by Shy Soul. She's bringing you author interviews, book discussions, and more. Stay tuned.
tonight. I'm your host, Shy Soul, and we are live with author Queen Pen, aka Katie Brown. Hi, how are you?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Now, we're going to talk about a few things on this show tonight. First of all, we're going to be getting into your books, and you have a great lineup, and you're also a publisher, so we're definitely going to talk about all that. So where do you want to start?
I guess we can start with my books and then kind of branch out from there. That sounds good to me.
So you have quite a few, I might add, and they are all good. Yes, I am a fan of yours.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. So the book that I really want to talk about is The Baddest.
The Baddest of Them All?
Yes.
Okay, that sounds good. So The Baddest of Them All, basically, I have 3 books out right now. I'm working on my 4th book, and it's a part of a whole series. So, it's the Urban Fairy Tale series, and The Baddest of Them All is the 2nd book of the series. So I guess I could talk a little bit about the first one and then get into the second one.
Yes, of course.
Perfect. So, the first one is called Dust to Diamonds, and basically the premise for the whole series is really just taking our favorite childhood classics, classic fairy tales, and putting a modern urban twist on them. So, the first one is Dust to Diamonds, and that one is basically an urban twist on Cinderella, and I really try hard to kind of stick to the original storyline. So that book has basically evil stepmothers and stepsisters. It has the prince and all that fun stuff. And then The Baddest of Them All is book 2, where I'm doing a modern urban spin on Snow White. So for that one, it's basically just, it has the Snow White character. I don't want to give too much away, so it has the Snow White character, and she has her prince, of course, and it ties into the first one, and yeah.
I love it. That is a very, very different way for to write an urban story. I'm gonna be honest here. I've never, well, of course I've read the book, so
Right.
But by any other author, urban author at that, I've never had that spin on the fairy tales, the princesses that we grew up when we were little. We never really had too many black princesses, so.
No.
To have that and you do that, that's very, very, very inspirational. Very.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
I tried. I know that there are authors that have kind of had similar urban fairy tale titles for their books. I've seen Beauty in the Streets or those kind of titles, but I've never really seen urban books where they follow the actual fairy tale storyline, and that's really where I was trying to come in and I'm it would be really cool if we could see how a urban fairy tale would look in modern days. I just always thought that would be super cool, so I went for it.
Exactly, and you really hit it on its mark because me growing up and love writing, that's what I was reading,
Right.
And when I got older, did I ever think of when I come out with my first book, I didn't think of that. So for you to really go ahead and be like, you know what, I'm going to do this, that's great.
Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy because I have always loved writing. I've always been a writer, and I finally decided to kind of just take the plunge and go to school and get my bachelor's degree in creative writing. And I always told myself okay, I'm gonna learn everything I can through this bachelor's degree, and I'm gonna get my degree before I ever start writing my first book, right? And it was funny because I was talking to my friend Kenya Red, who is also an author, ideas off of each other. And this was before I graduated, and it came to me, like, I was like, it would be really dope if I did, like, an urban spin on fairy tales. And, like, from there, I literally, like, I couldn't sleep until I wrote this book. So I ended up finishing my first book before I graduated with my degree. You know, it didn't work out how, I didn't plan to do that, but it was like, as soon as I thought of that idea, I had to go with it. So that's what I did.
Yes, I love that. I hope all the authors and authors that want to publish are listening to her, because this is the route that I'm going to. I'm in college, and I've always loved books so much, and writing stories has always been a part of me, because I have so much going on in my little head that that I want to get out there. So and almost your story is actually a fairy tale too, because you like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna get it done, and you've had a lot of milestones that I've seen that matches what you're writing. So I love it. It's a lot of authors that I know for a fact are like, yeah, definitely gonna take some tips from her, and as they should.
I appreciate that. That makes me happy to hear, because I'm still really, I feel like I'm still really new at this author game. I'm new in the industry. Like, I just published my first book in November. That was like 7 months ago. So I'm still really new. But I feel like I'm trying to think of how to say this. I feel like I've kind of just completely submerged and saturated myself in this industry and tried to just soak up every little bit I could, and I've really just learned so much from other authors like you, literally I try to network and connect with every single author that I'm friends with, and I've just learned so much with your guys' help, and because of that, I've, taken another plunge, and I decided to open up my own publishing company, and that's thriving, and it's been a crazy wild, 7 months. It's literally just the beginning, but I'm really just trying to strive to, help other authors and network with other authors and bounce ideas off with other people. That's just, my main goal right now, so I appreciate that.
I'm here for it. I really am. And
yeah.
I am definitely the type of author that is the same way. That's why I have the show, of course, because I love to network with other great authors, especially authors such as you and me who are new. I'm fairly new myself. So I haven't been in this game long at all. So I'm still learning a lot, but I still know a lot about the industry because I did that before I even, plunged into it. That was the whole goal, to figure out what I'm getting into first, not just going head first into something that I'm like, oh, and then a whole bunch of stuff just gets messed up for me. Because, those things happen when you have a dream and, you just want to get your work out there. And sometimes it doesn't go as planned because you didn't take your time. So,
exactly.
We definitely made sure to take our time with this because with this industry, it's a lot.
It's a lot, and there's a lot to learn. I guess my biggest advice for new authors coming into this industry, for my authors, all of my authors that I have under me are all new. They're all not published. None of them have any books out, so I'm helping them kind of make their dreams come true. So my advice really to any author and to any author that I talk to that or any inspiring author, I just tell them, make sure that you do your research. First and foremost, do your own research. Don't talk to, don't take everybody's advice. You know what I mean? You gotta do your own research and figure out what's best for you, because what I did might not be what's best for you. I self-published before anything, and I've never worked under a publisher, but now I am a publisher. That's not gonna work for everybody. Some people need to be under a publisher in order to publish their first book, and then maybe they want to move around and try self-publishing. You just got to figure out what works for you and what your situation will thrive in. So that's my biggest advice. I really think that you don't just take the first opportunity that jumps out at you. That's just what I'm saying, because you know, you could have had a better deal if you would have just been patient and, you know, done your research. So that's my biggest, you know, piece of advice for any new author coming into this industry.
Which is true, and I talk about that on this show all the time. That is the most important thing I talk about, because, you know, this is the direct way to, you know, get to certain people, and, you know, all the information. Definitely go to some of these episodes, because there's a lot of authors such as you who like to give that, because we've been through it. You know, you don't want to just get your dreams just shot down because, you know, you just wanted to just get it out there like so quick. And, you know, when you do it that way and you're like so eager, you stumble upon people who are not truly there to help you. They're just there to get the money. And that's the truth.
Oh, yes. And yes, that is absolutely 100% the truth. So I agree with that. I think that a platform like this, like your show, is perfect for new authors, because they can literally go through and listen to each individual story of each individual author and see like what they've been through and hear advice, and you know, there's so much knowledge and information to be learned on a platform like this, and I think that is so important. And I would encourage any author, not even just new authors, but any author, to listen to a show like this, because you will learn, you'll take something away from that, even if you just listen to one episode, you know. So I think that this is amazing, and I think it's needed, and I think that more people need to listen and contribute to this, because it's really gonna only make us as a community better.
That was the whole goal.
Well, you're doing it, so congrats.
Thank you. Because it's certain things, especially, and I seen a post on your page, and that's what I've been waiting to talk about. You made a valid point that I've been saying for the longest.
Oh, man.
The quantity over quality. That is what I've been saying, and it's true. I'm not going to knock down anybody's hustle. That is, everybody know that is not my case, my words at all. It's just that when you focus on the quality, you'll have, okay, say if you have 3 books, the quality that you put in those books can be your national bestsellers, even further to New York Times. That's what I love, and I want to strive to get to. I don't care if my book doesn't make the top 100 list or hit number 1 or even in that category. As long as I put my book out, and I have a lot of people who are like, oh my gosh, that's what I love. It's when my readers and my fans are like, oh my gosh, Shy Soul put out another book. It's been, I don't know how many months, because people know, I take so long to write my books. I don't want to take a month or a couple of weeks to just write my book and then boom, short story, put it out. No, I want to take, if it takes me a year, and it has, to write a story, that's what I'm going to strive to do.
Yes, I agree. You know, and I guess since you brought it up, I feel like I should touch on that Homestead. It was a hot mess yesterday, and I agree with everything that you're saying. Like, I feel like the post may have sounded a little bit harsh, and that wasn't where I was coming from.
Not at all.
I wasn't coming to, like, get at anybody. You know, I loved every single one of my pen sisters, every single one of my author friends, any author that I haven't even met. Like, I support you. I'm here for you, and I want you to win just like I want to win. So I wasn't trying to shade anybody, and I think that a lot of people took offense to it, which is why I actually took it down. But I think what I was getting at is just that in the urban fiction community, it's just so it's not uncommon for authors to have 60 plus books out, and that's in any other genre, that's unheard of for the most part. Not unheard of, but like most of the best-selling authors that, I mean, they have like the movies and all that. I'm talking like J.K. Rowling, what's her name, Suzanne Collins, like all of those people, they only have like a hand, they can count on two hands how many books they have. And that's where my thought was coming. I was just kind of wondering, like, why is it that in the urban community we celebrate having 60 books, yet we're not necessarily doing as well as like a J.K. Rowling? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't trying to say that just because you have 60 books doesn't mean that they're not 60 quality books, because they very well could be. That is not impossible at all. But I do believe that there is, after talking with some other authors and, you know, looking at, you know, why it might be that this genre has a lot of authors that have a lot of books, I think it's really just because the audience for urban fiction is just so different than the audience for, you know, sci-fi or young adult or whatever it might be. Where in urban fiction, we love our series. You know, we do. I write series. I love writing series. I love reading series. We love series, and if we as authors want the chance to write different storylines, we tend to have series, and then we want to jump to a different storyline, which creates a whole nother series. So those books add up, and I get it, and I wasn't trying to fault anybody for that. I'm probably going to end up having multiple books out as well. I was just trying to, you know, do a compare and contrast type deal. So that's where I was coming up from with that, but I do believe that, you know, just taking your time, going at your own pace is important. Some people are able to write books in 2 weeks, and they're phenomenal. Some people, it does take a year. You know, it really just depends. And going at your own pace and making sure that you have quality editing, and all of that is very, very important in this industry, in the urban industry, I believe.
Yes, and you hit a lot of points, because that is true. And to be honest, I don't take any offense on what you said, because it is the truth. Whoever, you know, thought you were being negative or anything, I mean, you really weren't, because people know I have said this too on this platform. I have said it with many authors and have asked many authors how do they feel about what you posted. And this is way before you even, you know, made that post. So it's very understandable, because like you said, you don't see other genres doing that. And I understand that, because like I seen the comments say, you know, they're short stories. But yeah, I wrote my first short story, and it took me like 5-6 months. And my publisher was like, I can't wait for you to put this. Like, come on now, when you gonna get the story to me? I know you take your time, but I'm really interested in this one, because this is different for you. Which is true. It was very different from you. It was a lot that I've never written before. So I said, I really do want to take my time with it, even though I want to put it out. And then the next book, I want to put that out too. But I'm like, yeah, that's not me. I can't just hurry and rush my short story and then a couple of weeks later just hop into it. Oh, I can't do that. With me, I have to take a slight pause. You know, I might want to start on my next book. That's how I am. I like to go to the next story and still be writing that second or third book for that series. And it'll come out. I know, like you said, we already know that our readers and many other readers love series. They want to be like, oh, well, it's been 2 years for that next book, and, you know, I'm over it. But when we do, if you do revamp it, or, you know, you republish it to, you know, just get those eyes back on the story for the next book, it's going to be readers who's going to be interested in that. Or you do have the fans who are waiting a year to 2 years to 3 for that second book to come out, because, you know, those are the readers that stick with you. So it's a lot of ups and downs and half and half with this whole thing.
I just, for my authors personally, because, you know, I can't tell anyone else to do, and I don't tell my authors what to do. I just really tell them, you know, take your time, write at your own pace, and don't force it. Like, I know you're excited to put your book out, especially since it's your first book. Like, I know you're super hyped. You want people to read it. I get that. But you want everyone to read quality work. You want them to want to read another book by you. Mm-hmm. So I try to reiterate that. Like, just make sure that you are putting your best foot forward and your best work out there. And if you're not inspired today, then don't force it. Period. I don't force it. If I'm not inspired, there might be 2-3 weeks that go by where I'm not feeling it. And if I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to force it, because that's when quality starts to lessen. So I think that's just a really great piece of advice as well. Like, everything you're saying, just really go at your own pace. What works for us might not work for somebody else. What works for you might not work for me. So that's really important. I think that we have to really be careful about comparing ourselves with other people.
Yep.
Don't, just because this person has 20 books out in their first year, don't expect yourself to do that. Don't expect to don't expect to make XYZ amount of money, just because this person is, it's a lot. Just don't compare yourself, period. It's you're doing your own thing. You're in your own lane. Focus on what you got going on.
Yep. And, it was a point in time where, before like you said, you were always self-published. At a point, I was with Wattpad. Well, on Wattpad. Let me better correct myself. That's where I started writing my books, and let me say, people love my books, and I still have those readers till today, but my books were just crummy. They were just bad. That's how I felt about them. At that time, when I was a teenager, I was writing them, and I was like, oh my God, I love this book. Now I read, I'm like, what the heck was I talking about? So at that time, I was always passionate, even more passionate now. And I had a friend, we were at the same pace. We were like writing stories at the same time, and she was interested a little bit more than me, I could say, because I loved her books and she loved mine. And I was like, you know what? We should get published at the same time. We had that same goal, and then hers went downhill. And I stayed up top. And I always kept mentioning, I was like, you need to put your stories out. I'm like, don't take your stories down. If you're getting discouraged, just take a break. Okay, take as long as you need to, but don't disappear and, give it up. She ended up giving it up, and I'm like, you can still do it. I'm like, you if you have the time to, yes, but you can still do this, because I'm the type of person, I believe your story can be a bestseller. I believe you can hit that #1. And if you don't want to write another book after that, that's fine. You can have a one-hit book. I mean, people have one-hit songs. It's fine, but don't give up what you love. I know you're passionate, but the way you just gave up so easily, like, where did the passion go for writing? I mean, like, how did you lose it? And I just talked to her every day about it. And she was like, I just don't want to do it anymore. I was like, I can't see myself doing that. I just can't see myself giving up on writing. If I'm having a low point in it, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to talk to my publisher, my mom or something, and, take my break, take my little mini vacation. And then it's going to come back to me like, I miss writing. Like, I miss typing. Yes. I miss writing by hand. I need to get back into it.
Yes.
She just didn't feel that anymore. I was like, this is exactly why I'm going to be talking about this, because I don't want anybody to just give up on writing, especially if you love it so much and it's so therapeutic, too.
Yeah. And I agree with that 100%. I don't think you should ever give up writing if it's something you're passionate about. I do think that every person is different, and I think there's different levels to writing. I think that it does take a certain special type of person to be a published writer versus just like writing for yourself or for family and friends, or for, if you're going to like an open mic, or what I mean, something like that. I think that some people might think that they want to be a published author, and then they start the process and they don't like it as much as they thought, or they're losing their interest in writing, and vice versa. Some people might start out with just writing for themselves or for their family, or who knows what, and then it grows and grows until they're like, you know what, I'm good enough to be a published writer. So I really think that it just depends. I think that maybe, your friend or whoever was probably like really into it, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe she just realized that like that kind of writing just wasn't for her, or maybe it'll come back to her, and it very well might. Yep. Maybe it wasn't her time yet.
Yep, and that's what I was like. Maybe it's not our time or your time or my time, but I know I made like set goals for myself early. That's just the type of person I was and still am. I'm like, I can't give up on this. And she sees my books all the time. I still have some short stories up on Wattpad. She does too. And recently she was like, I miss it, right? And she was like, I've been reading your stories and you post such inspirational stuff on your social media. And she was like, I have to figure out a way to get back into it. I said, you could talk to me anytime. You know this. Anytime you can talk to me. I'll be on the phone with you for hours trying to help you with your book. And you know this. That's just the type of person I am. But I said, if it's not for you anymore, then just don't even, don't worry about it. But those stories that you have up, don't get rid of them, because, you have so many readers who took notice to it. So, don't get rid of that. Keep that as your memories or whatnot. And maybe when you get older and you're like, I'm going to get back into this, you could reinvent those stories. She was like, yeah, I'm not going to get rid of them. Only because of you. I said, it shouldn't be just because of me. It should be because, you love doing it at a point.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, it's good that you told her not to get rid of those, because that is like, that is, if she does get back into writing and she eventually starts publishing, or even if she doesn't, that's really gonna like just show her progress. Like, there's stuff that I've written like back in the day, and I look at it now and I'm just like, to me it's like, ugh, like what was I doing? But like back then I really thought I had something. Like, I really thought that this was it, like this is gonna be a hit. And so even with like my first book, like, don't get me wrong, that's my first love, like that's my firstborn, but it's not as now, I'm not going to say it's not as good, but I can see my progress. Like, I've definitely, like, from book 1 to book 4, which I'm writing right now, like, I can definitely see the change and, like, how much better I've gotten. And it just makes me so excited for the future, because I know, like, by, however many books I do end up having, but by book, 8, I'm going to be a rock star. So I love keeping stuff like that, because it really just like keeps me grounded and shows me like how far I've really come. And it is good to have on those days where maybe you got like a bad review on Amazon, or you're just not feeling so great about life or writing in general, and to look back on some old stuff, like you might be like, okay, like I've really, really like done well for myself, and I'm sitting here feeling bad for myself. Like, there's no need for that,
You have a very big point there, because I've recently did that. When I'm working on a different genre, a different story, and I've done this before, and it really freshened up my writing abilities, because urban paranormal is something I always wanted to dab in and write about and do something different. And when I wrote that story, I was like, wow, this is fresh and it's new for me, and I love it. And it's a story that I always go back and I read over and over again, because the characters I created, the storyline, the just everything that is so imaginative is in that book. I was like, yeah, I'm sending this to my publisher. And she's waiting. I'm like, when I get it together, I'm like, yeah, I'm giving that to her. Most definitely. This can be like a great new fresh series for me that I want readers to read. Because I seen that somebody said, where is our Black Girl Magic books?
Yes.
And, you know, that different stuff. Like what you're writing.
Yes, I think that's amazing. And that's kind of what I'm all about too. Like, don't get me wrong, like I grew up on the classics. Like I'm talking, you know, Sister Souljah, Nikki Turner, just like everybody. So I love me good like urban, like hood fiction story. Like that's my roots right there. Like that's it don't get better no better than that for me. But I feel like I've just kind of tried to come into this industry and put something fresh out, you know, like the fairy tale spin-offs, or you know, I've been wanting to write like a good like urban mystery story or stuff like that, like where we have urban fiction, but why can't we also have like urban mystery or urban paranormal, or you know, like the different branches like other you know genres have. So I think that's really important, and I think that'll give readers just something fresh to read. And you know, I'm here for authors like other authors doing the same. Like I'm not here to take all the shine. Like I want everybody to win, and if they like, you know, that idea, like you go ahead and write your own not version of that, but your own like urban mystery or your own urban fairy tale or whatever, you know what I mean? Like you can do that. I think that is really important for us to just kind of like broaden this urban fiction industry and have some fresh content.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was getting at. And that's exactly what I want to do, you know?
Yes.
Like I said, I have such creativity that I just don't want to write, you know, the hood stories. And romance has always been that for me. Has always been my go-to. But the other side of me has also been like that paranormal stuff too, because that's what I grew up on.
Yes.
That's what I love.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest here. When I was younger, my mom, you know, she read all of those books. Was I allowed to read them? Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
Some slight teen fiction, yes. But all the other stuff, she wasn't having that. She wasn't letting me, as much as I wanted to dip in her books, she wasn't having that. She's like, the books are not for you, you know.
Rightfully so.
Yes. She said, them books are not for you yet. Okay.
Yeah.
So now the times has turned, and she's read my book. She was like, you know what? Well, now how in the world I'm like, Mom, please don't do that.
Yes.
I'm older now. My mind has developed.
Yes.
But was the book good though? She's like, yes, the book was good, but you know what? She just did it again. I'm like, Mom, you're gonna have to be okay with it. Okay.
Yes.
Just go with the flow. I'm still gonna write them stories that you love for me though. But yeah.
I swear, like having parents read my work has been like the most. It's funny because my stepmom read my books first, and she loved them, but she was just kind of like, you know, it was just she was just like, you know, I wish I would have known like a scene or two, like so I could have skipped it, whatever.
Yes.
So then my dad read the books, and he's a pastor, and I didn't know that he was reading my books. And so my stepmom told me he was reading my books, and I was just like instantly, like I just cringed. I'm like, no, like he should not be reading those books. But it's funny, like we'll talk about my books, but like the big elephant in the room is obviously like the sex scenes, and like he like we don't even mention it. We just kind of like walk around it. Like we don't really. It's just like, yeah, your books are good. Oh, what book are you working on now? Like it's like that, but it's just like we don't go into depth at all about the book. So it's pretty funny. I was always worried about that. You know, like when I was getting ready to publish my book, I'm like, dang, like I don't want people not even just my parents. I'm like, I don't want other people I know reading my books. Like, that's kind of awkward, but I guess, you know, you just gotta put yourself out there, and like whoever reads it, and like 9 times out of 10, I'm not even gonna say 10 times out of 10. Good people are gonna support you no matter what. So like it don't even matter. Like once you get past like the like, oh, they're gonna be looking at me crazy now. No, they're not. Like they're gonna be looking at you like, wow, you did that. Like you wrote a book. That's dope. So I just, you know, it's always, I feel like for any author, like new author, that's always gonna be a thing. But you get past it real quick, and you know.
Because I recently, my oldest guy cousins. Now that's a big one. Both of them read the books. And he just looked at me when I came over my auntie's house. He was like, Miss Nasty. I said, what? I said, what are you talking about? I didn't do anything. He said, I'm just kidding with you. You know, your big cousin play around. That book was really good. He said, I recommended it to all my coworkers.
Yes.
He was like, all my coworkers. They getting that book. Even if I have to buy it myself and have them pay for it through me, and I give you the money, I'm like, you know what? You the one.
That's the best. I swear. That's super cool. I feel that, you know, that the support has been real cool. Like I've had so many people support me, and people I didn't even like think would, like, cause you know we write urban fiction. That's not really a well-known genre at all, and so I have a lot of people that I never would have thought like would ever buy my book, simply because it's not something that they would typically read, but they did, and they loved it. So I think that's really cool. It's just like bringing more awareness to that this is a genre, and this is a thing. Like there are tons and tons and tons of books that you can read within this genre, and people literally had no idea. I have friends that never read, like ever, and they're telling me like, dang, I just finished your whole series in 2 days. Like it's like it's the best feeling ever. It really is.
Yep, I had a friend that said that too. He was like, Shy, you know I don't like reading. I was like, give it a chance, because the book that I wrote is for the guy perspective. He was like, all right, I'll give it a chance. He was like, he called me out my sleep and was like, I finished the book. I was like, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. He was like, I don't care. I don't care. I stayed up all night reading it. I ignored. He's like, I ignored my girlfriend just to read the book. I had to read her a few pages. He was like, that book was really good. He was like, now when is book 2 coming out? I need it like now. I will pay you to get your manuscript just so I can read it. I was like, come on now. He was like, I'm serious. It is.
It's the best feeling ever. And I'm seriously so, like, I'm excited for my authors to experience that too. They got some good stuff coming. I'm just excited. Like, I think the best part of this whole journey is like obviously publishing my own books. Like that's always going to be dope and super exciting. But helping new authors make their dreams come true, and then see, like I have one author. I've published one book for one of my authors so far, and it's just a poetry novella. And when I published her book, like she was so excited, as all new authors would be. But when I got her book in paperback, like the first thing I did was FaceTime her, because I bought them first, and then I was going to send her free copies. And I FaceTimed her, and she was just like, I'm trying not to cry right now. I'm going to cry. Like, this is so amazing. And like that moment right there was like everything to me. And I cannot wait for the rest of my authors to like. I'm a FaceTime each and every one of them when I get their books in paperback, and I love seeing their reactions. Like that's the best. I know what that feels like, and I'm just happy that like I can have a part in their journey. Like that's really amazing. Whether they stay with me for the life of their career or not, like I will always be rooting for them, and I'll always have that memory of them publishing their first book, and I think that is so amazing.
Yep. I cried when I got my books. My dad had brought in a big box. It took a while for them to get to the house. So I was busy and I kind of forgot that, they was going to get here. And he was like, I have a package for you, right? I was like, what package? I was like, I'm busy. He was like, well, your package is in your room. I think you should go open it, right? I was like, okay. So I opened it. I was like, I screamed. He was like, He was like, what is it? I was like, my books. And he was like, come here. Because he know I'm a crybaby. I was like, I can't believe. He was like, I'm so proud of you. I just broke down crying. I was like, oh, I can't wait to sell these paperbacks. I was just so excited. I was like, forget all this other stuff I was doing. I'm going to create my book packages now. I'm so happy. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like that with all the books that I get. And I have 4 books out. So the 5th book, I'm going to do the same thing.
That, I feel like it never gets old. Like it's always just as good as the first time. Like it's like a high. Like that first day, I feel like that first day that you publish the book, and then the first day that you actually get them in the mail, like the paperbacks in the mail. Those are like the best 2 days ever.
Exactly. That is exactly how I feel. And I'm just doing so many different things with my paperbacks and stuff to make them even more, memorable. Like, who doesn't love to get a paperback and have a new book smell? If you don't, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Right. Yes, you should see my library. I've been showing everybody this because I'm super proud of it, but I literally have 4 tall bookshelves full of paperbacks, like just all the books that I've read, and it's like my pride and joy. And it's super cool to like be able to put my own books on that bookshelf.
Yep. I said one day I'm going to have a full bookshelf of my books one day. No rush, but one day.
Your books, yes.
Plus my movies and audio books. That's my goal. That is my goal for the future. I'm young. I have enough time to do so. So, my question is, what do you see for the rest of your future, in the near future, for you being an author? Where do you see yourself going next?
Man, that's a good question. Just for me personally as an author, right now I'm working on getting my books in audiobook format. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually was an audiobook narrator before I was an author. And that's kind of how I was introduced into the author world, because I was working with authors, and so I've always wanted to have my own books on audiobook, and I had the idea, before I even published my first book, that I would be the one to narrate my own books. Because I'm like, who wouldn't want to do that? Like, I know exactly how I want the voices to sound. Like, I know how everything's supposed to be said. Like, it's going to be super cool. But it's so time-consuming, Shy. Like, I can't. Like, if I want to continue writing, there's literally no way that I can also narrate my own books. So I found a really great audio book narrator, and she's doing a fabulous job. We are more than halfway finished with the first book, so that is going to hopefully be released in audiobook next month, and then we'll start on the others. Other than that, I really just want to finish out this series. I am working on book 4 right now in the series, and then the 5th book will be the final book, and I'm really excited to just kind of see what I come up with next. I have some ideas that we've kind of talked about, but I'm super excited to just see like where my mind takes me next, and I'm excited to my fear is / was that I was going to be branded as the urban fairy tale author,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to be branded as just that. I want to have more depth and more to me, so I am the direction that I plan on going next. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I know that it's going to be far from fairy tales. So I'm excited to start working on that and really just kind of building my brand, continue networking. I really just want to get super comfortable in this industry and put my work in and my time in, and then I don't know, I feel like what author doesn't want to see their work on the big screen one day, so that's like the ultimate goal right there.
That really is. And
Yes.
I'm going to be all over your stuff like I always am, like rooting for you. I'm going to be sharing everything like I usually do. And
Thank
another
you.
question, will you be going to the book fair in August?
Which one? I know there's the Atlanta kickback.
The one in Chicago.
The one, I didn't know there was one in Chicago. What?
You didn't? Oh my God.
No, I only knew about the one in Atlanta. Listen, I'm like only 6 hours from Chicago, so yeah.
What? I thought you knew. No.
No. Wait, so when is it in August?
It's going to be August 24th. So I think you still have enough time.
Okay. Yes. If you, when we're done with this, you just send me over that info, and I definitely can make that happen. That's just a drive away. I could do that.
Yes, I will most definitely send you that. Oh my God, I thought you knew, because when you said you were in the same time zone as me, I'm like, oh my God, is she going to be coming? Because I want to meet her. I was like so excited.
My gosh, I would love to. Seriously, I had no idea. I've just been hearing about the Atlanta one. All I hear is Atlanta. I didn't hear nothing about no Chicago.
No, honey, Jessica Watkins is hosting the one in Chicago this year, yes. I will definitely send that over to you after we're done with this. For sure.
Perfect. Yes, I'll be there. I will definitely be there.
Okay, now, this is the time where you get to shout out all your books. You get to tell us and whoever else is listening where we can get your books. If you have a site, anything like that, tell us about that. Tell us all your social media so we can get you some more follows. And tell us who you'd like to shout out and your top author you would like to hear next on Authors Tell All.
Oh, man. Okay, so here we go. So basically, you can find all my books on Amazon. I'm on the Kindle Unlimited paperbacks. You can just type in the Urban Fairy Tale series, or my pen name, which is Queen Pen, 2 separate words. So you can find all my books on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, online. You can find them all. And then I do have a website as well. If you go to kingdomlitpublications.com. All my books are on there, and I actually have a bundle deal too. And I'll sign all of those copies. So that's probably the best deal, kingdomlitpublications.com. And what else did you say? There was a lot there.
Oh, yeah. You get to shout out anybody you would like to name on the show. You get to tell me the top author you would like to hear next on the show.
Yes. Okay, so I definitely think that my girl Kenya Red should be on this show. She's amazing. She's actually the person that really introduced me into the author world. So she's really dope. She has some really great books. I actually narrated her first, or not her first, sorry. I actually narrated her one of her books. It was the Duchess Volume 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that you guys can check that out. But yeah, she's super cool, and she has taught me so much. So if you guys felt like you even learned one thing from me, you'll definitely learn more than a few things from her. So
I love it. I cannot wait to talk to you again. I will most definitely be having you on the show again. I always have recurring authors, so I will be in your inbox harassing you about that too.
Oh, please do, girl. Please do.
I will definitely get in touch with her. I've talked to her a few times, so I will definitely be messaging about her, about this to her too.
Good.
I will send you that information, but for now we have to say goodbye. I'm so glad to have you on the show. This was a great show.
Thank you so much. It was seriously so much fun, and I'm happy that we finally got to do this, and I really, really look forward to doing it again. It was a blast.
Me too. I love you.
Love you. Thank you.
Author Katie Brown loves you. You guys have a great night. You too. I will see you guys again soon. Bye.
Bye.
She's bringing you author interviews, book discussions, and more. Stay tuned.